Okay, so now that we've completed the initial stage of the ITC Apex system and compliance, really particular to insurance and of course financial products as well. So we always start that, complete it all the way up to draft demands and needs stage, and then after that we park it, and then we complete the final stages on handover. So what I'm going to do now is just walk you through the completion stage at handover, just so it sort of gives you an idea on the process to sort of complete it and of course set up any policies. So once you've logged in, you'll see here just at the bottom that you've got sales administration. If we give that a little click, okay, it'll take us into sort of a search field here. So if, for example, in your dealership, I don't know, you've got heaps and heaps and heaps of customers listed, then it makes it quite easy. If you did want to sort of look up a particular customer, you can go them by these particular fields. So I know, for example, I was to click registration number there, then what will happen is in this little box here, a registration number field data entry box will appear. You type it in and hey presto, up comes your deal. Otherwise, you'll just notice that they're all basically just listed down here or from the most recent. So if you were to say click on any of these, like a manager, so if I just want a very quick click anywhere on here, then it will automatically come up with just the detail, a quick snapshot of that deal to sort of see where we're at with it. So we've got to put a registration number in. It's at the apply stage, so we haven't actually really completed it as yet. So we're going to make sure all of those are completed before month end for vehicles that are sort of going out. So that's normally what it looks like with all the list of the different customers. What we're going to do right now is to complete a dummy one. I'm in a dummy system, so we're going to click on this continue just here. So we give that a little click. And it automatically comes up with, well, look, how is the sale with this customer going to be completed or undertaken? Because the sale is actually happening right now. This is where we sort of set up all the policy documents and activate it, with the product suppliers. Now, really, to be honest with you, 90% of the time, this should be done face to face. I totally appreciate during lockdown that wasn't possible, but you'll notice here that you've got contactless face-to-face. So this is where the customer does come into the showroom, but they've obviously got concerns about COVID and don't want to sort of put their finger on any of our iPads or IT equipment. There is almost nobody that has an issue doing that. So we're expecting the ratio between face-to-face and face-to-face contactless to literally be maybe 1 or 2% of people here. So it's not unless it is absolutely necessary. So if we see anything higher than that, we know that people are kind of being a bit lazy and just sort of self-completing. So that absolutely must not happen. If it is a telesale and it's a distance sale, then obviously we understand that. You just click that one. So we're going to click face-to-face, then we're going to click OK. We click OK and it takes us straight into the final stage, which is the apply stage. You'll notice that all of the little process steps for insurance have been completed and all of the process steps for finance have been completed. The very final section of the finance provider section really is about, has the customer been accepted as proposed? Has there been a change in finance company? Have the payments or term or rates in any way, shape or form changed? Obviously if they have, prior to you accepting it, then you can make those changes. The system will automatically throw you into one of these things if they're not completed. So we know that I've obviously done a good job here, so we're really ready to go straight to the apply stage. So we're going to click on declarations. I'm happy about that, and then I'm just going to sort of complete all the stuff that's very obvious really. So it sort of says here that put your postcode in and all of the other sort of contact details. So I'm sort of happy with that. Sort of click on the continue, or sorry, not supposed to continue, I do apologise. What you basically do is just scroll down here. As soon as you scroll down, it brings you to this stage. So pop the registration number of the vehicle in, and what else do we need to do? We also just need to just say, well, what products is the customer going to have? So if you actually click, oh, he's definitely going to buy tyre and wheel, and he's definitely going to buy Smart. As soon as you do that, the products will open up. Okay, but I just want to touch beforehand. I have actually a bit later on got this unblocked, but obviously if you're not in a position to sell Gap because it's less than 24 hours since the customer ordered the vehicle, then you can see that the moratorium period has physically blocked the sale of the Gap until such times as the statutory time period has elapsed. So if I was to click tyre and alloy and I was able to tick Smart, automatically you'll see that they open up. So I'm going to click purchase on that. I'm going to sort of put my policy live date in. Price should already be in, to be fair. It might not necessarily, but usually they are. And if you scroll down a little bit, you can see Smart. One thing I do want to touch on about Smart is this little bit here. Do you want to be set up or do you actually want to set up a direct debit for this product rather than pay it in one lump? If you were to sort of click no on this section and then actually go and move on to web services questions, because that's the next thing that we're going to do, it will automatically put you into this section here, which in effect means that as far as Smart is concerned, the customer's paying it in one lump, so nice and easy. And it's going to go through three lots of question sets that we have to deal with: Premium web service questions, Smart questions, Smart web service questions, I should say, and Insure That. Insure That really is the setup for Gap. So I'm going to go through each of these in this process, but if this particular section for Smart was yes, then when you go to click web service questions, it would actually have, before the Premier sort of web service questions, it would say, well, look, if the customer wants to pay on payments, could you just pop in their account number and sort code? So we just pop that in, and hey presto, it'll take 12 monthly payments for the Smart. Smart can't be any more than 12 payments. They're literally just spread payments. So it's not credit, it's just a way for the client to make it easier for them to pay for the vehicle. I have actually blocked off all of these answers here because I just want to go through them specifically with you. So let's go through Premier web service questions. Unfortunately, this application is a little frustrating because it does ask you the same thing multiple times, which you have to enter multiple times. So once you get your head around that, you can move through it fairly quickly. But what it's actually saying is what is the purchase type for the car. So you click on here, and is it going to be cash? All you've got to do is put the phone number in. However, if you click into there and it is actually finance, okay, then there's a whole load more stuff for you to complete. So once we click finance, it's already got our telephone number in from a bit earlier on. We're going to click on here for the finance type. Well, I think it's going to have to be a bit of a PCP, so we're going to click on that, and then we just complete the rest of the payments nice and simply, so it's not overly complicated. I've actually gone one stage further, so we're finished on this bit, and that's for web services questions. So all we need to do for the Smart is just pop the customer's telephone number in. Happy days. Okay, so if we now sort of scroll down a little bit further, we're now going to move into the Insure That web service questions. And like I said earlier, this is very much for Gap products. Okay, so insurance funding method. How is the customer going to be physically paying for this Gap? So we're going to click on this little drop down, and it actually says, is it going to be card or is it going to be premium? Okay, why they not, sort of can't put pay directly or whatever. Or bank transfer. You just don't need to sort of do that. But anyway, card basically means they're paying cash, paying directly for it. Premium finance means that the customer's going to pay for it on a monthly basis. So we're going to go for premium finance. As soon as we click on premium finance, we then are really in a position to start completing out the rest of the information. Okay, so what we actually have here is just my bank details, which I know we've already put them in up above, but that's the sort of API link that goes straight to Smart. These are the links that will go straight for the Gap product. It's different type of funding. So we're going to put the account number and the sort code in. Now it's asking us the payment term. Obviously we're going to click a little drop down on that, and up it comes. So 12 months is really where we should kind of start. So typically on a Gap that may be 33 quid. I think it's something like 17 quid for 2 years. It's about 11 quid. Obviously it depends on the price of the product for 3. But each time you go longer, we're making less commission. That is a greater period, or the likelihood that the customer could cancel that product throughout the term. So we want to keep it as low as possible. 12 months is pretty good. Okay, so I think we're going to go for 12 months. And now, after that, it actually takes us to, because we've just done the payment term, we're going to go to first payment date. So as soon as we click into that, up comes this little calendar, and we have to put in the date. We're not going to ask the customer this. We're going to select the next closest 10-day period. I don't mean 9 days. If it's 9 days before, so let's say, for example, I don't know, today is the 6th of September. Okay, we wouldn't be able to go for the 11th because there's only these 3 debit dates that they take the payments on. So we wouldn't, it has to be a clear 10 days. So if today is the 6th, we can't go and click that 11th. Okay, we would have to go all the way around to the 21st and select that one. So please try and remember that. For the payment dates, you're either the 1st, the 11th or the 21st with a 10-day clear period. Anything less, it's going to be more obviously on top. Okay, so once we've put the date in, first payment date, we just then fill out the rest of it. And why on earth they want that information, like what fuel does it have and is it manual, I really don't know. For some inexplicable reason, it wants to ask us again, how's the customer paying for the vehicle? So we have to pop that information in. PCP, who's the finance company, RCI, what's the amount financed, that kind of stuff. I did say earlier on that they do double up on some of the questioning, so you just have to be mindful of that and complete it as appropriate. Other than that, that's kind of done. What's now going to happen is we're going to go to this section here where it says save, because we're done. Click on that save. As soon as we click it, it takes us into the draft demands and needs. You'll notice that my little toggle bar here is right at the bottom of this slider because I've just dragged it all the way down just to the signature section. But obviously up here it's pretty much the same as the draft demands and needs, but this is the final demands and needs. So we would just ask the customer to sign by clicking there, and they're just going to put their little, we're going to put our little squiggle there. Customers going to put their squiggle in as well, and then we're done. So we would just click apply, and then that would then set up all of the policies for the Gap and the Tire and Wheel and all the Smart. So it's all good stuff. Other than that, that would just take you back to this front page where you're back at your sales administration. So it's quite easy. So the completion stage is quite quick with the client. So other than that, well, thanks for watching.